My name is Erin Trujillo, and I'm the Director of Counseling Services here at ASU. I want to talk today about whether we should always believe what we believe. And the reason why I want to talk about this is there's so many times that I'm talking with a student where they're sharing something that's a belief, and I have to ask them, when did that belief first start for you? And more times than not, there's experiences that happened a very long time ago where someone crystallized a belief. Sometimes those thoughts, those feelings, those physiological beliefs happened a long time ago, and they're actually no longer current. It's most problematic when our belief is about something that we're not capable of, about our potential, about a self-limiting aspect of who we are. And so challenging that is really important. I like to tell students about a story in my own life. I was 19 and I went to Disneyland with some friends, and it was the second time I went to Disneyland. The first time I was like 5 or 6. But in one particular moment, I came face to face with a belief I had that was from a strong experience when I was 5. I was in line at the Matterhorn. The Matterhorn is this roller coaster ride, and I'm sitting with my other 19-year-old friends, and I tell them, I'm like really nervous right now, and I know it's kind of silly, and I don't know what's gonna happen, but I remember there's this like scary thing in the middle of this ride, and despite my best efforts, my hands are a little sweaty, my heart rate is beating a little bit, and even though I was telling myself, Erin, you're fine, it's gonna be okay, my body was almost like, I know, we believe this place is scary, and so I got you. And so my body started moving. And so I was really curious to see what this scary thing was. I remembered this sort of like monster in the middle of the ride. So I'm on the ride, and it's a roller coaster, and it comes around and it curves, and I see this thing, and it's like a stuffed animal that's frozen in time, and it has these little beady eyes that were like twinkle lights, little red eyes, and it's just kind of sitting there. And as soon as I saw it, I just started laughing so hard because that was the thing I was scared of. And I'm sure when I was 6, it was very scary. And I'm pretty sure it's probably the exact same thing as when I was 6. And so I like to tell students that story because despite our logic, despite our best efforts, we have these emotional responses to points in time. And sometimes we have to challenge it to see how inaccurate it is, or how funny it is, or how way behind that experience is. And if we don't do that, then we go through our lives believing something that we believed when we were 5, or when we were 8, or 12, or 19. I'm confident that this stage of high school to college graduation, there is more profound personal growth than at any other stage. And so the reason we also have to revisit our beliefs is because we are growing so fast. We are developing, we are maturing, we are experiencing so many different things. The whole purpose of this moment in a student's life is to grow beyond where they were. And so that's of course going to happen through academic rigor and through research and through discovery and rich intellectual dialogue, but it's also going to happen emotionally through meeting people from all over the world, from living maybe on your own for the first time. Maybe you're learning a new language. Maybe you are all of a sudden side by side with a professor that was your mentor and you're a colleague. That's all an emotional part of that growth too. And so if we have a belief that is telling us, oh, I can't do that, or I've never been good at that, or man, when I tried that last time, that didn't work, so that must not be me, that's going to limit us from the potential of what we have in front of us, what students have in front of you. And so that's why I think this constant emotional checking in with our beliefs is so very important at this stage in a college student's life. When we're conscious of change, we can make choices to develop a part of ourselves that had not been explored yet, to push ourselves outside of our own limits. If you're struggling with something that is a belief, I would ask you when you started believing that belief. I'd encourage you to think back to who you were at that point in time, to think back to what you were doing at that point in time. And then you can evaluate whether it's right or not, and then you can test it out. Beliefs are part of a cornerstone of who we are, and they're really important. And every once in a while, we gotta challenge them.